From VTV Channel 6 studios in downtown Vernal, this is Local Point with your host, Chris Piner.
Hello everyone and welcome to Local Point. I'm your host for today, David Gale, and for Chris Piner. On today's show we have a special guest. Uintah County Commissioner Mike McKee is here to talk to us about this year's annual Energy Summit. Welcome, Commissioner McKee. Thanks for joining us today on Local Point.
Thank you. Good to be here.
That's very, very nice. Let's start by just talking about what the summit is, where it's held, the dates and that information, and what it means for Uintah County.
Well, thank you. We have an annual Energy Summit. We've been doing this for a number of years now. Unique to us this year, we're going to be at our new conference center.
That's right.
So this will be our first major event that we're having at our new conference center. And that's going to be on September 10th.
Okay.
We're going to begin at 7 o'clock in the morning with a breakfast. Hope everybody will register so they can go to the county website to register, or they can just come to the door. But we hope that we can have a huge group that comes. We have, traditionally we've been having 500-600 people come. This is one of the premier energy summits around anywhere.
Yeah.
And in fact, we've been told that people that's come from the outside said, you know, we've spent thousands of dollars going to summits, and this is better than them.
Really?
And we have an outstanding lineup this year. And so we really do encourage the public to come and join. And there's going to be a lot of information I think is going to be very valuable for our public. I know our economy's down a little bit. In fact, it's more than a little bit. A lot of our local businesses are hurting quite a bit right now. And but there's a lot of really good information that I think is going to be very timely. And maybe you'll want to talk about this a little bit later. But it's going to be a very valuable, important summit, and a lot of very key information on a lot of different topics.
Okay, so let's back up a little bit. You said you would like the public to come out. Who is the summit particularly for? I mean, public can be part of it, but when you talk about people registering, who is this for?
You know, it's multifaceted.
Okay.
And so we want our general public to come. We hope that the general public, anybody that has an interest on our energy issues and our economy, we hope they'll come, our businesses. We also have a lot of officials that come. We have consultants. We have the whole wide variety of probably anybody that has anything to do with energy that comes. And this includes conventional energy, unconventional, like oil shale, oil sands, wind power. And then we have a lot of sponsors, and we really appreciate the sponsors. And so this is going to be a wide mix of varied interests. And one of the things that I think will be unique this year is because, and we'll talk about maybe this a little bit later, but on our public lands initiative, I hope that we have a group from the environmental community that comes, because there's a lot at play here as we're talking about the public lands initiative.
So is this, it seems to me this is like a convention. We use the word summit, and I'm trying to wrap my head a little bit around this idea that I'm assuming that you're going to have like keynote speakers there,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And an opportunity for people to network. But it isn't necessarily an open forum.
No, this is more of presentations.
Okay.
We're going to have a number of presentations, and we'll be hearing from Governor Herbert. We've got keynote speaker coming at noon. We've got we'll be hearing from our industry leaders from their various companies and their projections, economists, and then we've got we've got 3 strong panels that's going to be giving us a lot of information.
Okay. So it's really an opportunity for local companies as well as the public to come and kind of feel the pulse of the energy industry, particularly in our region, or?
Particularly, it's tailored to our region, but it's worldwide as well, and nationwide. And I might just give a little bit of a teaser here,
Sure.
but I was visiting with one of our industry leaders that does quite a lot of business here in the Uintah Basin, had this very discussion with him this morning. And one of the things that he was talking about had to do with what he sees in the future as it relates to the energy industry. I think people are going to want to hear this information. Well,
sure. Especially considering the state that we're in right now when it comes to being in a downward trend.
Right.
The possibility for good news in the future was, I guess, what I'm hoping for as well.
Right, and I think it is good news. But, you know, I think our immediate problems we have, you know, my belief is we've got probably a couple of years that's going to be difficult.
Sure.
But, you know, come to the summit. Let's see the projections. And this is going to be coming from various companies and people that do projections for the oil and gas companies. So I think it would be valuable for everybody to to come and see this. And business decisions are made, you know, on our economy.
Sure.
And so
a good opportunity, like I said, to network. You have kind of big players and those who have similar interests all in one place. So again, tell me about the registration. You said it's the date is September 10th. How do people register?
So they can go to their county website. They can call Sylvia at our county office, either way, or they can just show up
that morning,
September 10th, and come that morning and register.
Okay.
Whatever is most convenient, but please come.
Sure. What's the cost involved?
You know, that's the other thing, $25. The cost of the meals through the day would be more than that. We have a lot of sponsors that's helping to defer these costs. So again, very reasonable cost. As I think I mentioned earlier, we've had people that said they paid thousands of dollars for information that's, they said, not as good as what we have here.
Well, we're right in the heart of it, and we've got a beautiful new facility. Hopefully, I've been to these in the past, and you're right. There are an awful lot of people there. I'm assuming that maybe it'll be a little more comfortable this time.
It will be more comfortable, and I'll tell you, we had a meeting at the new conference center a couple nights ago, and you know, just the facilities, the sound system, the comfort. People will enjoy the facility.
All right, great. Well,
but they'll enjoy the conference even more.
Even more than the facility, you'll enjoy the conference. So stay with us after this break. We'll discuss more about the Energy Summit. Be right back after this.
With advanced all-digital cable television from Strata Networks, you can enjoy jaw-dropping digital picture on hundreds of channels, exclusive local programming with VTV6, and follow your favorite college teams in incredible HD on the Pac-12 network, all with no contracts, no costly equipment, and no dishes mounted to your home. For details, visit your Strata store in Roosevelt or Vernal or call 622-5007. Strata Networks. We connect lives.
Welcome back to Local Point. With this year's Energy Summit right around the corner, we have Uintah County Commissioner Mike McKee here to discuss the details of this year's event. Thank you again for joining us. So before we left, we were talking about, well, we were talking about an awful lot, but when it comes to the summit itself, we have some dignitaries or some key speakers that are coming. Who can we look forward to hearing from?
Well, it's a whole power-packed day, I think.
Sure.
But certainly the governor being here is huge. Appreciate his attendance. We have our keynote speaker is William McGrath coming in from Washington, D.C. with the Interior and with the congressional staffs. Does a lot of work on overregulation and the kind of things and some of the issues we're dealing with. Public, and I think our industry is going to really be keyed into some of the things that he's going to be talking about.
Will he be part of any panel?
He's not part of the panel.
Okay.
He will be a lunchtime keynote speaker.
Okay,
yeah.
right when we're all eating and feeling good.
Right, right.
Okay, so tell me some of the things that you're excited about during, I know that you had talked about the Public Lands Initiative.
Yeah, just real quickly what we'll have there in the Public Lands Initiative, and you know, typically we have a lot of our oil and gas people that come to an Energy Summit. I'm hoping that some of the environmental community will come to the Energy Summit. We're going to be talking about this Public Lands Initiative and the balance of what we're trying to do here in Uintah County so that we can have a strong, vibrant energy industry, we have a strong agricultural community, and we preserve some of the special places for the environmental community, and it creates a win-win opportunity, and we're going to be discussing that, and Casey Snyder from Rob Bishop's office is going to be here, be part of that panel, and there's going to be a lot of very key and I think exciting information for the public to come and to participate and ask questions, and that's where the public can be involved in some of the panel discussions.
Anything near term that they're going to be talking about when it comes to public lands that people might be interested in?
Well, I think it's the Public Lands Initiative. I really do.
Just all together.
You know, there's air quality issues and other things that we're working on, but we're not keen in on that particularly in this round.
Okay. Now, obviously right now we're in a downturn in the economy.
Right.
And I'm wondering how that's going to affect the summit and just the overall kind of timbre of people's moods. And you as a public official, how do you see the economy now affecting our local jobs, the local companies? What's your forecast?
Well, thank you for asking the question. You know, interesting enough, yesterday we had a meeting with business leaders in the community. And I think a lot of our business leaders, this is a difficult time for them.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, one of the things that was mentioned is the economy's down, and we don't ever see it coming back like it used to be.
Right.
I had to stand up and say, I don't believe that. And I am an optimist, but I do not believe that. With the vast resources we have, 111 trillion cubic feet of natural gas in the Uintah Basin, billions of barrels of oil,
mm-hmm.
and that's before we ever get to oil shale and oil sands that surpass even what's in the Mideast. The opportunities are here. With the Public Lands Initiative, the different kind of things that we're endeavoring to do to get the federal government off our backs, and yes, the price of oil is down right now,
mm-hmm.
and I think it's going to be a difficult couple of years. I really believe that it is. But we look out a little bit, I think we have a very bright future. I think we're going to see that in some of the information that we'll be seeing at the Energy Summit.
What do you think, how do you think it's going to turn around? I mean, what do you see happening? Obviously, the price of oil going up will help a lot. You had mentioned government oversight, maybe a pullback of that. When do you see us having an upswing?
Well, you know, that's the difficult portion, because even the economists that work with oil and gas companies, I visited with them, they said, we never saw this coming. Mm-hmm. We never saw this.
Yeah.
But also in visiting with industry, they're positioning themselves in a different way, and they do not believe that the oil and gas is going to stay down where it is now long term. And they believe actually some of these corrections are healthy even for them. And there will be investment. I think one of the things we have to recognize in the basin, though, because of the discounts and different things, as we start to improve, we will improve a little slower than some of the other areas.
Okay.
And when it goes down, we go down a little quicker than some of the areas. That's because of the discount on oil as it goes to Salt Lake. There's somewhere around an $8 to $17 a barrel discount.
Okay.
Because it's a heavy paraffin.
So even as the other regions may start to see a little bit of an increase, it may take us a little bit longer to catch up with that.
Ours will be a little slower. And again, this is coming from industry itself. But we've seen that through the years. We have seen that through the years. But with the vast resources that we have here, it's just tremendous. I don't know that people realize what is underneath us here in the Uintah Basin. It is world class. It is world class. Something that any region in the world would love to have, what we have here. And it's not just in natural gas, it's not just in oil, it's not just in oil shale, it's not just in oil sands. It's all of these together, plus gilsonite and phosphate.
Right.
And just the vastness of our resources. We have the opportunity to have such a strong, healthy economy for generations, hundreds of years to come.
Well, great. And to hear all about that at this Energy Summit on September 10th, once again, tell me how people can register and the time frame.
All right, thank you. It begins at 7 o'clock. Speakers begin at a 7:45. And so please come, get the breakfast. And September 10th, register, go to the county website. You can call Sylvia at the county building, or just simply show up.
We've got a nice new building and plenty of room for you.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you very much,
Thank
Commissioner McKee, and thank you,
Great
of course,
to be
for
here.
joining us on this episode of Local Point. I'm your host, David Gale, and that's all we have for today's show. Be sure to like VTV6 on Facebook for updates on your favorite local programming, and we'll see you here next time.